of the unsightly that was being there. And I think that it's, very inappropriate at the time. And some members of the community has been complaining about those issues. I grew up in Saipan when we were kids. I've never seen our people hang or wash their underwears and hang it in the front of the house. It's something that we put in the back, in the bathroom, or somewhere secluded, somewhere where it's not visible to the public. I think for us, it's very unsightly. And that's just one of the issues that we brought up. And I'm glad that it passes. And I'm hoping that zoning, because zoning will be the enforcing agency that would enforce that bill. But I would agree with Mr. Paul, there's a lot of problems that we are facing. CUC, for instance, and that's very true. I sat as a chairman for the Natural Resources Committee in February this year, and just here in June, we had the same presenter that came out of Germany regarding renewable energy. The proposal that they were offering is they were willing to build solar and wind turbine for free, no cost to the Sinamay government. We sat down with the Lieutenant Governor and some members of the committee and some members of the legislature. First thing I said to that person is, when can you start? They were willing to sell it at 18 cents per kilowatt. No cost again to the Sinamay government, because all the costs will be paid, what they'll do is they'll come in, build the place, build the thing up, provide job opportunities, things like that. And of course, the big savings will be passed to the consumers, which is us. And I would agree again, there's a lot of issues that we're facing here. Healthcare, as Mr. Kilili, Congressman Sablan has mentioned. The power is the biggest issue, of course, that everybody's facing. I myself, I was interviewed at one time regarding the financial situation, the crisis that we are facing in our islands, and yes, it's true, everybody's suffering. To be honest with you, I kind of regret it in a way that I ran, because there's more issues than the money that I'm getting paid, to try to do my job out there, and it's hard. A lot of my personal money that goes out is for funerals, or people that come to my house, knocking on my door, asking if I can pay for their powers, or pay something for them that they need, or even to buy those portable gas cans for them to cook their food. It's really sad, and it's true. All of this are happening here on our islands. So everybody I know is suffering and hurting. And I agree with Mr. Paula again that there's a lot of bills, there's a lot of issues that we should be concentrating on. The water that Mr. Kilili mentioned earlier, the power, of course. Here we are paying CUC a great amount of dollars on water, but we cannot even drink the water. Things of that nature. I just wanted to, yes ma'am. Okay, with that, like I said, the acting governor, Ilos, was there at the time during this presentation, and it actually takes place at the governor's conference room. My guess is just as good as yours, ma'am, because like I said, first thing I said to Mr. Chris Truss out of Germany, they were out here, they did this presentation twice here on the island. And again, the proposal was so great that they, right up front, when I mentioned it to the person, the group that came here to do this presentation, their name, by the way, is Green Global System. And of course, first thing I ask is, when can you start? Because I know that everyone is suffering. Everybody needs that saving.
I think Lori is closing us for the evening. Hi, Lori.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you again. On the subject of power and whatnot, my formal request for the record tonight is, can we please have the USDA office back here so we have a USDA representative on Saipan for the cinema? That's a good response. The point being that there are a lot of rural energy programs that are available for both businesses and private people. that can take advantage of either grant money or reduced revolving loans that are available to supplant the cost over time.
No disagreement with you there, Lauria.
We want a representative back. That's number one. Number two, I was wondering, I was told I had the last
I've made
question,
the
I have
ask.
the last two
I've made
questions.
the ask already, Laurie, on that day, just like I want U.S. Department of Labor here. And just recently, was that 2 weeks ago in D.C.? We had a meeting on, yeah, I'm sorry, my LA, Ed handles U.S. Department of Agriculture, so, but I met some people. And the ask is, they provide the service, but moreover, jobs, right? Jobs. And what's your second question, Lori?
Okay, so that's my grant writer's hat and my helping the community hat. My other question is, this is totally volunteer, is that as the secretary of the board of the Friends of the Monument, I'd like to ask you if you could expand on the status of what you were talking about earlier about the $200,000 for the visitor center scoping, and also if you could just maybe give us a very short, brief update on where we're at with the process of the legislation that was enacted. Where are we in getting a management plan? Where are we in having people come and help us and just give us some sort of update? Thank you.
We're going to be here for another 30 minutes, but thank you, Lord, for your on the co-management, and actually, I should have gone into submerged land because it does affect submerged land. HR 670 passed the House. I mean, we've had a hearing. It passed the House 416 to 0 in the last Congress. It went to the Senate. Senator McCain had an issue because it had the word land in there, and he wanted other things that his bill, and they weren't. So he held on to it. Finally, he released it, but the Senate had no longer any time on their schedule, and they had to adjourn. Presently, 670 has been heard in committee, and it's now in the union calendar. That and the Rota National Park study are in the union calendar. That means it's ready to be scheduled on the floor. But of course, because there are Republicans in the House, and they won't put a Democratic view on this. They have their own bills in the same union calendar, so we're working on that one. Having said that, the administration has come up, the White House, U.S. administration has come up with concerns. Actually, and when I say administration, it includes U.S. Department of Interior, has a concern with the release of land before the management plan is established and adopted. And we're trying to find a way to language this where we can get submerged land 670 passed, where we have an assurance from the Council on Economic CEQ that the environmental quality. Yeah, those are the people who told our land will be keeping their word, right? They would sort of provide a language where DOI will not release the land around, will not release the 3 miles around the islands until a management plan is done. If you would like, you can come to our office tomorrow and we'll sit down in greater detail and explain to you the politics. Because there is politics, not just in Congress now, but in the White House is involved. And actually, we met Senator Bingham recently, right? That was 3 weeks ago. Because he has companion legislation in the Senate, saying, oh, Senator Bingham, we can't hold this thing forever. And he's willing to cooperate, but we need to address the administration's concerns. So, sorry, you can, this is a good time, staff here that are directly involved in that. And, if you want I know I said last question, but I cannot turn anyway. I know I said that was the last question, but I cannot turn anyway away. So please ask here.
Hi, WIA anyways. I work for a private company, and they hire a lot of WIA in. So, of course, I lose a lot of hours because of them coming in, and I'm proud of this WIA, you know, hiring locals and help students and all that. But only one thing, I have a sister, have 2 kids that applied for WIA, and they weren't hired. They weren't on the internet when they check out some of the names. So they told the mother about it. And so the mother called WIA, and WIA told them that they don't allow ACE students because they're ACE. These 2 kids. Yeah, A students. And told straight to the mother that they only allow low class
Students who do not excel in school academics and drop out.
they only allow those.
I don't know how we're gonna do this. I can't talk to you or the case. It's a public town hall meeting, but my best advice at this time is, could we have the parent of those 2 individuals come to our office? They need to sign a piece of paper that then I acknowledge I don't know anything about the ethics rules. And we'll see what we can do, no? That's not fair because, man,
I mean,
we want our people to excel, no?
I wasn't happy when I'm losing my hours working for this private. But then I'm happy because they're hiring me. They take and help the students every summer. But what happened is when I heard that, I was there
thought
when
it was
my
income.
sister.
It was based on income eligibility, but not excellence. Wow, first time I heard that someone who excels is not wanted. I mean, maybe that's why we're in this situation we're in. We need to talk in our office now. So, but thank you for bringing that up. What's your name? Who's your? I know. Which is Somar? Pete.
Juan Somar.
And I think I think I know. First, Ms. Mossi, and I guess that would be the, again, Dr. Luna, Ms. Mossi, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We will have other town hall meetings. I want to thank Chairman Colossus and Chairman Yomo, and Congressman Yomo, and Joe. This is what we do, is we have disagreements, people bring up, I've been told to my face on issue, but this is what. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here tonight. Thank you very much.